Hello and welcome to the show. This is the Sales for the Nigerian Business Person podcast. It's available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes, or any podcast player of your choice. So subscribe for free once you're done listening to this episode, just in case you're using your web browser to listen. Today on the show, we have audio recordings from the WhatsApp School of Business program that I advertised on Saturday, the 15th of July 2023. The goal of the program was to introduce folks to the fundamentals of doing business in Nigeria and to show how sales and business development principles can help you overcome the harsh landscape of doing business in our dearly beloved country. I also wanted to answer general business questions posed by the participants, and the program was delivered entirely over WhatsApp for the course of more than 1 week. And this is an example of how you can get truly convenient business education in your pocket and learning over WhatsApp at your convenience. If you love what you hear on the podcast and you like daily access to me, to ask me questions related on how to sell in your business, then the WhatsApp Coaching Club is now open, and the investment required for that is only 5,000 naira a month. You ask me anything, I give you answers and assignments to move your business forward. So if you're interested, hit me up on the socials. Don't worry about how to spell my name. I spend most of my time on LinkedIn, and my name, Tabashima Ayede, is the correct spelling. You can find it in the web browser where you're currently listening to this episode. You see the spelling of my name, the email address, and the photo, and it's also in the profile of the podcast app where you're currently listening to my voice. So Tavashima Ayede, the correct spelling of the name, is there. So if you're interested in the 5K, the WhatsApp Coaching Club, the 5K monthly investment, then let me know. Hit me up, send me a message on 080 6466 2140. The country code for Nigeria is +234. And for those of you who are trying to save to start a business, I'm affiliated with a reputable financial institution in Nigeria that has 504 billion naira in assets. And what that means is they're not going to go broke anytime soon. They're a secure organization to work with. They're not going to run away with your money anytime soon. They're in the business of protecting and guaranteeing your savings. This is not a bank, so you're not going to have an ATM card. You're not going to get hit by lots of miscellaneous fees. And you're going to get an interesting, or rather, you're going to get an improvement on the interest that you get from regular savings banks in Nigeria. And then, of course, this is safer than using loan sharks for the capital to start your business, because loan sharks are going to want to embarrass you and your whole family, and they want you to put your father and your mother up as credit. Sorry, not credit. What's that word? As collateral for the loan. So if you're interested, then hit me up on 080 6466 2140 to get started on saving towards your dream. Now remember, it doesn't have to be saving towards a business. Any savings plan will do. People have saved with this organization for their children's education. Let's say, like me, you have kids in primary school and you're wondering about secondary school and the all-expensive university education. And then, of course, folks like my mom saving towards retirement. So if you're interested, hit me up and let's get you started. Now, on with the episode for today. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Thursday, the 10th of August, 2023, and I'm about to address the second aspect of Elizabeth's question. Remember that Elizabeth is the lady who is based in Lagos who sells souvenirs. Also, sorry, I can't remember if she's based in Lagos because it's a while since we chatted. Now, okay, before I continue, remember that this group is an Ask Me Anything. So ask me anything about your business, especially if the questions are related to sales or marketing challenges, and we'll use your business as a case study so that we can hopefully solve your problem and then bring value to other members of the group, because they're going to be learning from the exchange that happens here. Then, like most of you who have put up questions so far, from the architect in the first week all the way up till now, you will notice that some of your questions are multi-layered, and sometimes it's not really a question per se, but I'm going to address every single aspect that I can. So now we're going to go to the part where Elizabeth talks about she's focusing much more on corporations instead of on dealing with individuals. Now the backstory is this. That's from our private chat. Since individual people have been talking about price, she's tired of dealing with people who are price shopping, who want to haggle, people who are pricing groundnut. She has decided to focus on corporations, and I think that that's a good idea for several reasons. Focusing on corporations or focusing on businesses is a good idea. In this case, I think it was a bank that she approached, if I remember correctly. Elizabeth, if there are any things that I've remembered wrong, please point them out in response to this audio. So, yes, if I remember correctly, it's a bank that she focused on, and I think it's a good idea because when you're focusing on corporations, like banks, when you're focusing on businesses, it gives you more control over the sales process. If you're focusing on individuals, you have to wait in your store for somebody to come and find you, pretty much, or someone to come and reach out to you on Instagram while you're either putting out content or you're trying to advertise and all these other things that you bring, that you use to try and bring business in. But when you're focusing on corporations, you have more control over the sales process because you can be proactive and go out and drum up business, which is what she did. She went to go and approach a bank and she got business. So, in other words, if you're dealing with private buyers, you can sit down in your house, do stuff on the internet, and hope for the best. But if you're dealing with corporations, all you have to do is buy 5K credit on your phone, put 15K fuel in your car, or maybe like 30K fuel in your car, and then you come up with a plan that, okay, today I'm going to move to all the Zenith Bank branches within my site in Ikeja. And then hopefully that will take you 3 days, maybe a week. And then next week you say, okay, I'm now going to move to Stanbic IBTC or Access Bank or whatever. But bottom line is you are in control of the process. So if the last week you tried Zenith Bank branches, you spoke to five, you did business with one, and your profit was 100K or 150K, and you think that's okay, then you now know that out of that 150K, you remove 45 grand. Put 5K, put 10K on your phone, put another 30K in your car, or budget something for Uber, and then repeat the process again. Start going after another bank branch and then see how many it is that you're going to close. Now, know that you're not going to close all business. It's unrealistic. But for some reason, when people are new coming into business, they assume that you can talk to 10 people and end up doing business with 10. No, that's not the case. Most likely, if you talk to 10 people, you end up doing business with 8, 5, 3, 2, whatever, but not 10. 10 over 10, not possible. I've said it before on the group and I'm going to say it again. If you talk to 10 people and those 10 people buy from you straight, nobody complains. Just know that your price is too low. Know that the value it is that you deliver is so great that when people hear the price, they say, let me buy now before this person realizes that she's overcharging herself. So if you talk to 10 people and you end up dealing with 10 people, there's a problem. Believe me, there is a problem. You're leaving too much money on the table. So that's why it's good. You have more control over the sales process once you're dealing with corporations. It's about you and how good you are at chasing them down. If you chase them down very well, you're going to make lots of money this year. If you don't chase them down well at all, then that's going to be your problem. Another thing is corporations are less price sensitive. You will still haggle and negotiate with a corporation, but the thing is this: all those staff that you spoke to, let's just say you got your first sale at Zenith Bank, when they're haggling over price with you, what they're quarreling over is office money. It's not the same thing as personal money. When people are haggling over personal money, they can really tight their chests and argue this thing all the way down to the last. But if it's office money and the office has already budgeted the money, and for those people who are looking for a personal cut, as they're talking with you, they say that they can get their own personal cut inside the money, then they're not really bothered per se because it is office money. It is not personal money. When people haggle, when they argue, when they price over personal money, they will tight it to their chest. If it's office money, they're sensitive, but they're not so sensitive about it because office money is everybody's money, it's nobody's money. Except if it's one of those situations where, let's say the money is really big. If you don't fulfill this contract and do it very well, then somebody might get sacked and maybe the person might lose their job, or maybe they might involve EFCC or whatever. But generally speaking, when you're dealing with corporations or businesses, if you're dealing with that, okay, let's see, Zenith Bank, will they have head of procurement? Okay, not procurement. Let's say they will have these people that buy what's it called? Supplies, office supplies like printer, like ink, printer, ink, you know, stationery, those sorts of things. Maybe those are the kinds of people that Elizabeth is negotiating with when she goes to the bank to start selling, to market her products and services. So if you're talking with that person about stationery for the whole building, they will haggle, yes, but they won't really take it to their chest. But if you're having the question one on one, let's say the madam is having a birthday party for her son, and then she wants jotters that she's going to give to all the mummies that come, jotters and towels. The way she is going to handle that pricing over her son's birthday is going to be a different way that she will handle the pricing over the stationery that she's going to buy for the whole branch. It's going to be different. If you don't believe me, don't worry. When you head out into the field, you see that there's a difference. Then another thing about corporations is corporations will typically buy in bulk so you can make more money on gross margin. So yes, if you're selling to individuals, you might be able to sell your full 4,500 and then make a profit of 1.5 per head. With the bank, maybe they might haggle, and then instead of selling 4.5, you sell 4,000, and then your profit ends up being only, sorry, I've forgotten my math. Is it 500 or 300 or whatever? But the bottom line is that one person is only going to buy one. The bank, because they are buying it to give to staff and give it to other people, they're going to buy in dozens or they're going to buy in hundreds, so you can make good money from it. And Elizabeth can attest that yes, she did end up making good money from it. So those are the advantages of dealing with corporations, and that's why it's a good idea if you're in the souvenir space like Elizabeth. Still deal with all these one-on-one people, like momsies who are planning first birthday for their children, or people who are doing 20 years wedding vow renewal, or somebody who has buried their grandmother and who wants to buy souvenir. Yes, still deal with all those people, but corporations, these are the advantages of chasing them down. Now, what is the next step for Elizabeth? I told her in a private chat, and I'm telling her now in front of the group, in front of everyone. Come up with a prospecting plan and then start executing. The goal, pretty much, is to do exactly what we did the last time that brought that last deal that gave you hundreds of thousands in profits. It's just to isolate the things that you did and then repeat. What kind of organization was that? Was it a bank? Was it Zenith Bank? Then do that and repeat. I went to Zenith Bank. How many Zenith banks are in my location? Which location did I go to? How many Zenith Bank branches do they have in those locations? Draw up a list of them and then repeat. Who did I meet in the organization? Did I meet an MD? Did I meet the stationery and procurement manager? Did I meet the bank facilities manager? Who did I meet? Let me go and look for exactly that same official, the same kind of official in that organization, and then repeat. What sales process did I use? Did I go in there with samples or did I go there to make friends first? Repeat the same thing. Come up with 5 to 10 locations and then start. Repeat the same process. The reason why I say 5 to 10 is this. You're going to get rejection. It's just normal. If you go to one branch and you get rejection and you don't have another branch to go to, you feel sad for a while. You will sulk for a while. You will go and sit down at home and you will mope. And then you wake up the next day and you're not going to be sure what your next step is. But if you go out from location Zenith Bank in Ikeja, location branch A, and they reject you, you can just look at your list and see that, okay, I have branch B, C, D, E, and F to go to, and then you move to the next location. Having a list is going to help you cope with rejection easier, and it's going to help you work with motivation because you have your work planned out and it's just right there. So remember, what we're trying to do, we're not trying to do anything brand new. Just do exactly what you did the last time. Repeat. What is the kind of organization that you went to? Repeat. Which location did you visit? Repeat. Which official did you meet? Was it the manager? Was it MD? Was it operations manager? Was it facilities manager? Was it, you know, whatever? Repeat. What was your sales process? Repeat it. Get 5 to 10 locations and then do it. And you find that you'll do all right. One of the reasons why I'm saying repeat exactly the same thing is this. If the person that bought from you was Zenith Bank, Isolo, it helps that if you leave Isolo head office where they bought from you and then you go to Isolo, I don't know, junior office. Sorry, I'm not a bank staff, so I don't know how I don't know how how they name their locations. So if you leave Isolo main office and then you go to Isolo junior branch, it really helps that by the time you enter inside, You tell the facility manager that, oh, good morning, madam. I was just at main office last week where I spoke to Kunle, who is your contemporary over there. We had a wonderful conversation, and they were able to buy so and so amounts, and they were really, really happy with it. So that's the reason why I'm here before you today. You can see that this is an element of social proof that this is an element of social proof that you have here, and it's a good way to start off the conversation. The woman already knows that there's somebody else in another Zenith Bank branch in the main office that did business with you, and this is how it turned out. It makes you less of a stranger. It makes this more of a good bet to do. That if people in head office did the business and they were okay with it, then those of us here in junior office or whatever office it's called can do the same deal as well. Then you should also, Elizabeth, you should also return to the office where you ended up doing business with. In this case, we're pretending that it's Zenith Bank, Isolo main office. Go back to main office and have a chat with whoever it is that you spoke to the last time. We're going to try and get some repeat business, or we're going to try and get some referrals or some introductions. First of all, you want to be sure that they're happy. So you call her, the operations manager, branch manager. How are you doing now? It's me. It's Elizabeth from last week. You say, oh, Elizabeth, how are you? Well, fine. You will have the small conversation. How are the children? How is business? This Tinubu government, things are tough, blah, blah, blah. You have that conversation and get out of the way. Then you go straight to business. I want to be sure that the things that we delivered, I hope there was no problem. None of the mugs were broken. All of the biros were working. The jotters, I hope they were complete. The towel with your logo there, I hope that the logo was stitched well and the thing did not fade. My delivery boys, I hope they came on time. I hope they didn't cause any problem in the bank. Those sorts of things. Then you're also going to move into customer success. You want to be sure that they're successful. So like I said in the previous audio, we're pretending that one of the reasons why they got the souvenirs from you is because they want to give it to the marketing team, the sales team, to go and start approaching high network individuals to see if they can win business back from them. So ask the woman, so madam, the marketers that went out last week with my product, I hope it helped. How did things work? Have all these conversations. Now, having all these conversations, this woman is going to see that you have her, you don't, it wasn't just about the money. You didn't just show up, buy, and then leave. She can see that you have her success at the back of her mind. It will make it easier for her to buy next time. And then also, if you tell her that, please, madam, I want to go to Isolo Junior Branch, and I also want to meet the facilities manager there. I beg, do you have her phone number? She will also be more inclined to say, okay, yes, I have the number. Her name is Kemi. Just tell her that Adenike sent you. Stuff like that. You put in a good word. It makes it easier for you by the time you move from main office and then you move to junior branch or whatever branch is going to be called. So that's the whole point. We're trying to figure out, are they happy? We're trying to figure out, were they successful with what they bought our product or our products or services for? Then we're going to be able to get referrals from this woman. It's possible that she might not know anybody in Isolo junior office, and she might tell you that. But she might say, well, I happen to know somebody, but it's a different bank. Oh. This one is Taj Bank, and the person is not facilities manager, but the person is so desk officer. Would that be okay? And then, of course, you need all the help you can get. You say, okay, thank you very much, ma. You take the phone number, and then you try and shoot your shot. Repeat the same process. So the process, that's how you go about it pretty much. And then plus, whenever you go back and you have these customer satisfaction and customer success conversations, you're also leaving room on the personal front for people to do business in the future. So that way, when this woman in head office in Isolo, when she wants to do her son's birthday party or her husband's birthday party, or they want to do housewarming, or maybe she has been promoted or something like that, you will be one of the people that she can call because she knows that you're a correct person, your goods are on point. It's not just about the money. You try to follow up to make sure everybody's happy at the end of the day, and so she will bring business your way. So, Elizabeth, that is my assignment to you. You need to come up with a prospecting plan. Sit down with your pen and paper and think, which organization did you repeat? Sorry, which organization did you visit? Draw up a list of similar organizations. Which location was it? Start in the same location, just to save transport costs. For now, start with places around you, and then from there you move out small, small, small. As you make more money, you can broaden the scope. Who was the official that you met? Try and look for the same level of official this time to repeat the same process, and yeah, come up with 5 to 10 locations, and then try your luck, see as it happens. Don't expect that you do business with everybody. If you come up with 10 people, you do business with 10 people, we bless God. But then that means you need to sit down and review your prices, because if you go to 10 places, you end up doing businesses without all 10, then your prices are too low. You know that you're leaving money on the table. There's room for profit there, there's room for growth. So that's it. I will have a look at Elizabeth's question again in a couple of hours to see if there's anything that I've missed out. If there's something else I need to add, I will add that. But in the meantime, remember, we have paid coaching options available. There's a paid group. I run consultations at 15,000 naira per consultation. If you want to delve deep into these sorts of things, let's say you run a business similar to Elizabeth's, and you want to come up with a plan that, look, I need to come up with a prospecting plan. How do I identify the right organization? When I get there, which official am I supposed to meet? When I meet the official, how am I supposed to start the conversation? What are the tips for making effective presentations? Blah blah blah, all those sorts of things. These are the sort of things we sort out in private consultations. So those options are available. If you're interested, hit me up in DMs, and we'll see how we can make that happen. So if there are no other questions, I'll be back in a couple of hours to see if I can wrap it up with Elizabeth, and then I'll check the messages to see if there are any other questions that we haven't attended to. So thank you very much, guys, for your time and attention. I hope to make your time really valuable over here on the group. I'll be back here in a few hours.